Alright guys, so welcome to the Junco Trades YouTube channel. So today we have a very special video. Today's the first video, number one, on this camera. Number two, it is my first ever, informational video. And I want to start a series where I basically teach the basics, help you understand them better to, be on your way to start profiting. Now, if you guys do want to, if you guys have been looking for a mentorship, if you guys like the way I teach, you like the way, that I explain certain concepts, feel free to, what am I talking about? Feel free to comment down below, Instagram. I have a link over there where you can follow. I have a free Discord on my Instagram. I'll put a link to my free Discord in here. And yeah, welcome to Banger YouTube. And this camera is actually insane. Take a look at this. This is insane. Alright, so I'll catch you guys later and
on info. Today we will be going over let's write it out. Today we'll be going over what candlesticks mean. We'll be explaining and going in depth. So basically, people underestimate candles. People think candles are just like whatever, but candles in itself actually have, much more deeper meaning than just, a candle, right? So I guess if you're watching this, you're a relatively new trader. So, take this as you'd like. So first things first, right? We have obviously bullish and bearish candles. This middle part right here, the solid part, is called the body on both. This solid part is called the body of the candle. Basically where, like, how much volume was in that candle, right? So if we had, for example, let's zoom in. If we have a bearish candle that looks something like this, the body is not that big, right? It's not that much sell volume. However, if we look at a body like this, which is much more larger, it's indicating a lot more bearish volume. Same for bullish candles. If we see a bullish candle like this obviously is not that much volume. It's a small bullish candle, has a small body. When we're trading, we obviously want volume, so price moves. So now I'll show you a big bullish candle. We actually had one for market open today. Let's actually go to that right here. Right. This bullish candle was really big. It was a 35-point candle with a strong body. So what does that tell us? More bullish momentum. And each of these candles, in this scenario, I'll show a different one. Each of these candles they show 1 minute of price action. So if we were to go to the, let's say, daily, one of these candles explain or show 1 day of price action. So each of these candles, for example, on this example, represents 1 minute. So each candle represents 1 minute. Here, each candle represents 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and so forth. So obviously the bigger time frame you go, we want to stay on the lowest time frame. Especially if you are in, my group, because that's what we focus on. We focus on, catching, big moves, but, on the smallest time frame. That's where we have the most accuracy. So back to the candles. Now, the body is where price, it shows us volume. But what do the wicks mean? The wicks are the skinnier part to the top. If you were to cover the bottom of the wick or the top, whatever, that's why they're called candlesticks, because they kind of look like a candle. So yeah. Wicks basically just tell us where price visited, right? It doesn't tell us where it closed. It doesn't tell us where it opened. Let's actually, get into open and closing real quick. So pause the wick part. We'll get back to it. So with the opens and the close, right? Let's say a candle prior on the 1 minute closes, right? The second one, which is this one, let's say it's this one, for example. We opened here at this price, whatever price it may be. Let me show you my actual charts. So this right here let's say this candle closed, right? Let's focus on this one. So for this specific candle, price opened here at the bottom of the bullish candle. And then if we, I know my chart colors are weird, sorry. The hollow ones are bullish and then the bearish ones are the solid ones. So price opened here for this candle. Then price closed for here on this candle. Price closed here. And then we have the upper wick and the lower wick. So let's get a bearish example. So if for the bullish candles, price opens down here, price for the bearish candles would be at the top. I'll show you again. We open for bearish candles at the top and we close at the bottom. And then we have wicks to both sides. High of the wick, low of the wick, high of the wick, and low of the wick. So for this candle, we opened up here. At some point during the candle, we visited up and we came back down. So that is what the wicks are. Wicks are where price has visited. It's not where price closed. Price closed here at the bottom of the bearish candle. Price did not close here. This is just where price visited. Okay, so you can think of it like this. Wicks are where price visited, not where price closed. So you guys can take that into account. Wicks are where price visited, not where price closed. So if we look at this candle, right? We look at this candle and we see that it visited all the way down here, but we closed up here because this is a bullish candle. This candle closed up here. And at some point it visited up here, but it ended up coming back down. So that's that. And then I want to get a little bit more into wicks. So this will be for another video, but we'll touch up on this topic a little bit. So again, I want you to, on your own chart, I'm going to give you like a little bit of homework. I want you to mark out the opens of two bearish candles. So if I'll do two with you guys, so we'll just do one and one. So we'll start with the bearish. So this is where price opened for that bearish candle. Now, I want you guys to, pause if you need to, but let's explain it. What is the highest wick? What's the highest price visited on this candle? All right, if you said up here, you're correct. If you said down here, you're a burger. So where did price close for this candle? Where did price close? Right here. This is where price closed for the bearish candle. And the lowest we visited was right here. So if you got that correct, be proud of yourself. So now we're going to go to a bullish candle. See a good bullish candle. Really suck. Right, let's just use this one. This candle right here. We're going to use this big bullish candle. So I want you to answer where price opened for this candle. All right, it's right here. Psych, I lied. It's down here. Price opened down here. Right? So we were coming down, right? We were coming down with these candles. And when this one closed, right? This candle closed down here. The second one opened. And let me show you a different example because that candle is bad. So price opens here. We come up, we visit up here at some point, we come back down, and we close here. Now what happens to the next candle? Directly across from it, we open here, and we close up here. And we visited a little bit up. Now, right after that, what happens? Price comes to the right, we open here, we visit high, and we come lower. Right? We close, next candle. We open, close. Come to the next candle, open, and then this is the close. And then the highest we visited during this candle, remember this is all in the 1 minute. The highest we visited during this candle was here. This is the high of the wick. And then the low of the wick, right here. So that's pretty much the bodies, the wicks, right? Now I want to get into what, wicks mean, right? What the candles mean. So let's say, right, let's use a good example here. Hmm, let's see. Let me see an example that would make sense. Okay, this will make sense. So what do these wicks mean, right? So essentially, what these wicks mean, right, is let's say we have a candle, right? We're going up, right? But then we have a candle that does something like this, right? Remember, we opened here, we opened here. I'm just doing it on the left to not get anybody confused, right? We visited all the way up here, but we closed down here, right? So what can we tell from that, right? So price came up, if we wanted to keep going higher, we would have closed higher. But price visited this area and we rejected. That's what this is called, a rejection candle. We have a body, right? And we have a big wick. So what does that tell us? So essentially what that tells us, this is called rejection. This is rejection. And I'll explain it right now. Rejection. So if price, and rejection could be to the upside like this, or it could be to the downside, something like this, right? Small body, bigger wick. Let's, it can look something like this as well. So you have a small body and a big wick. So this is called rejection. Rejection can happen to the upside or to the downside like this. It could look something like this right here, or something like this. This is rejection. This is rejection. All these candles are rejection. So what does this tell us, right? If price wanted to, keep going up and close, higher, if we want to keep going higher, we would have bigger bodies with, no wicks to the downside. So you see how in these candles, we have no wicks to the downside and almost no wicks to the upside. This is clear indication that, we're going to keep going up. But then you have something like this where price, if we really wanted to keep going up, we would have closed higher. But we came up here, price was like, nope, I don't want to go here, and it started to reject, leaving this massive wick. So I use candles like this constantly in my own trading. I use it as, an indicator to enter. So, take that into account. I will not be, disclosing more because that is part of my insider, my group. I don't want to, leak anything. So that's that. That's a rejection. Let's pretend that, we had I don't use support and resistance at all. But let's just let's just say that I had a key level right here. I had a key level right here. Let's just pretend. And I was expecting a reaction off this key level. Price came to this key level and it rejected, right? So what does that tell us? Buyers are trapped and bears are in control. This is basically telling us, okay, bulls are getting rejected and we want to move lower. Same thing for the downside. Let me find a proper example. That one's all that. Right. Let's just say right. Actually, let's just say right here. Okay. So let's say I have a level right here. Wait, right here. Let's just say I have a level right here. And, as we're approaching this level, I'm seeing, very strong bearish price action. But then we get a small body with a bigger wick. What is this saying? Bears are getting rejected and bulls are in charge. These are doji candles. So again, price was coming towards this level, right? You see these candles coming down. And then once we hit this level, we came all the way down here and rejected. This is rejection. Again, rejection, rejection, rejection. Keep that in mind. Wicks are very important when you are learning this because it basically tells us, price doesn't want to go lower than that. It came down, said nope, and came back up. And I would see another indicator is, we had the rejection with, a strong bullish candle after. And this is a perfect example. So that's rejections. Rejections are really important. They tell us, where price doesn't want to go and where price does want to go. So when looking for rejections, I want you guys to find, some rejection candles. Um, something like, you know, something like, let's see. I mean, there's some here, but I don't want to confuse you guys. So let's see right here. We're looking for wicks bigger to either the upside or downside than the candle in itself, the body. So this is a huge rejection, right? And we have a small body. What does this tell us? That, we're starting to, we're going up. We came all the way up here. We said nope and started heading back down. I want you guys to find 3 of these on your own chart. And then I want you to find 3 bullish rejection candles. So this is rejection right here. This is rejection. This is rejection. I'll show you guys something else. Let's see. This is also rejection. Rejection right here. And as you can tell, we reject and go up. And then if you look at any other rejections, we reject, go down. We reject, go down a bit. We reject, we go up. We reject, we go down. You see, so this is very constant, right? Not only, is this one of the main things that I look for when I'm trading, I pair these with, actually, we're not going to say that. That's private information. But yeah, wicks, that's wicks and candles for
So
you.
that will wrap up today's segment. Room is a bit of a mess, but yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for today. I appreciate you guys, tuning in. If you made it this far, you have a special place in my heart. You made it to the end. Damn, my hair's cooked. I need a haircut. Whatever. So that was for today. That was candles and rejections. Just about to wrap things up. And yeah, I'll put all my socials down below. Feel free to follow them. And I'm going to constantly be giving out more value like this. I feel like people really benefit from it. And not only that, obviously people benefit from it, but if you guys are interested, in a mentorship and feel like, you've been stuck or you feel like you've been, not making the amount of money you want, or you just want to start day trading, right? Feel free to hit me on my Instagram. I'll put a link to my free Discord down below as well. And yeah, that's basically it. So I appreciate you guys for watching and stay strong, one-on-one family. Let's get it.